aware of the IEEE spec, the 2DS flag basically, if it's set to 1, all right, it's going towards the distribution system, i.e. it's going towards your access point. And those are the ones that we're interested in. Why? Because it's coming from the client, going towards your access point. So we're only interested in those. We're not interested in the ones that come from your access point because we're not tracking the access point. Right. Yes? Sorry? Mac, as in MacBook Pros and... Oh, OS X. Okay, this is basically bundled into a free tool that we call the Oswald Assistant. It's a live CD. So you can basically plug it into your MacBook, because we've had a report by someone who actually said that they loaded in the CD-ROM that they downloaded from a website into the MacBook. You don't have to install it. The whole idea is that you don't install this tool. You run it off of a dynamic environment, the live CD environment. You boot up from your CD, and basically it runs just like that. So you don't have to mess around with installing software. You don't have to mess around with, let's say, reformatting your hard drive and whatnot. Yeah, exactly. No, we don't run this in virtual machines. The reason for that is because VMware at this point, the wireless support is not exactly that great, especially for the PCMCIA cards. For USB, yeah, the cards are okay, but I would strongly recommend that you do not run it under VMware, actually, because it's a lot faster if you run it native. And in any case, it was designed to be run native and not under VMware. Any other questions? Anybody at all? Yes. Sorry, I can't really hear that. Okay, so what you're asking me is, how easy is it for the moocher to defeat this tool? Okay, like I mentioned with Mac spoofing, right? Let's take a look at that case in point. If I'm a moocher, and let's say I want to spoof as a legitimate user, let's say, for example, I run AeroDump, and I see you have a list of legitimate users connected to the access point. And what I want to do is I want to assume his identity. Well, I got to knock that guy off first, don't I? If I knock that guy off, I got to use deauthentication attacks against the valid kind to knock him off so that he goes away and I assume his identity. Because you can't have two guys trying to communicate in the same way. Your AP is basically going to say, hey, you know, what the hell? So that token alone will cause the valid user to say, how come I can't connect? I'm getting all these problems. And so they're going to end up talking to the system administrator, and they're going to say that, wait a minute, you know, I can't access this, that's a problem. And then the system administrator, if he runs a tool like Moocher Hunter, would basically say that, no, you are connected. And then the guy says, no, I'm not here. And as a result, you're then saying, this is the attacker, the moocher, who's basically trying to knock you off to basically get on and use the access point for whatever reason. So that's one condition. The second condition is if the moocher assumes, let's say he changes his MAC address to something from 000E35, which is an Intel Centrino vendor front end, to let's say 1111111. It doesn't really matter because he still needs to talk to the access point. And I'll track him based on 111111. I won't track him based on 000E35. So in both cases, MAC spoofing is no defense because he still has to connect to the access point. Does that answer your question? Okay, any other questions? Okay, if there are no other questions, I'd like to thank you for your time and your attentiveness. I really appreciate it because it's late in the day. I know everyone's sleepy after the coffee breaks. But if you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop into the corporate mailbox, and they'll get routed to me on this presentation. If you need more info, it's all listed down there, Moocher Hunter. There's also a short video for you that you can actually download and take away and use it as a reference guide to how to run Moocher Hunter. And of course, the Moocher Hunter tool is also available from that download link, the Oswald Assistant. All right, it also contains other tools, like I mentioned, like AeroDump, AirCrack, and whatnot. It's a collection of wireless tools. And of course, if you guys ever get interested in getting formal training, but I don't think any of you would probably be interested in that. So if there are no other questions, I will be available outside for any personal Q&A if anyone's too shy. But I thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Mr. Julian Ho. Our next presentation in this track will be talking about Mac OS X